OG, James. They've got to make sure they can come back in this one.
Indeed they do. And they will start as the aggressors here on Train. Have a look at these P250s. I am a happy chappy. Kikert's donated one to Buster. Very kind man, but he's got one for himself as well. Actually, maybe Sanji's dropped it. That makes more sense. But anyway, off they go. These sound cues will certainly be heard by the likes of NBK and Mantu, but they're not really in position to help. Alexi B rotating through connector, and Mantu will make his way as well. Going fishing they are, but indeed, that extra range, the P250 will deliver a kill for Buster.
And Yakindar's got a second entry for his team. That's the entry duo for VP, both getting a kill each onto this B site. They've been really good in some of those games at getting these kills onto B on Train, and they've done it here in the pistol round. They've got a 5v3 lead, and even with OG having 3 players alive on full health, they've got a lot of different angles to deal with. Yakindar spotted first. It's MBK who takes him out, but instantly Kicker slides out, as does Jame. All the VP players chiming in with kills, and Issa hasn't got any chance to win this round. It's VP getting off to a good start on their map pick.
And again, I think Issa's trying to keep his Kevlar intact. He's going for a force buy next round. Well, that's not going to happen. See if he chooses to stay, if he's able to stay alive. Looks like he will be. So at least the Kevlar will be saved. Again, if you're heading towards a force buy in the next round or something, that's always a consideration. If you believe the round is completely lost, the Kevlar's perfect, and there can be a cheap helmet to be had in the next round, which may just make you help you take a fight against these SMGs and such. If you're trying to land these shots to the Deagle and so on. So Issa will actually spend that $1,000 to get full armor with the helmet. So there we go. We can see the difference there for the super nerds among us. VP now looking to at least take control above B, but will they commit all the way immediately with no real information beyond the odd grenade? It seems they will. Buster leading the charge with the Mac 10, the expendable man. Jame on the site will deliver. Start as he means to go on. Headshot onto Valde.
This sets up some interesting mind games as well. VP rushing B basically on these first 2 rounds. I am interested if that is going to continue, if that's a game plan for them, or if they're just throwing some B plays in early to make OG think about the B site, and then maybe they go back to A once we get into the gun rounds. Either way, it's a successful start to the game for VP, which is exactly what they would have wanted. And now the question is, do OG get to save their weapons? Because they probably want to at this point. They'd love to have another chance to do some damage in the next round. And it doesn't look like VP are going too aggressively to try and hunt anything down here. VP obviously focused on their own economy as well. The Mac 10s can probably afford to run in first. Buster's trying to do just that. And OG have got a couple of players at Ivy. We might get a fight momentarily. It's not going to be a decisive one, though. It's 2-0 for VP, but OG saved their guns to try and do damage in this round instead.
Yeah, this is basically the same as the last round, which I always like to see, that kind of reinvestment. Quick decision. Lost position, quick decision. Move into the next round. And rather than have a force buy and an eco, you essentially have 2 force buys. Valde has a Zeus to make up for his lack of upgraded pistol. And Yakindar goes into the A bomb site again. Expendable man with the Mac 10. Not sure if Mantu spotted him at Sandwich. Perhaps he did with that grenade being deployed. So he's entertaining 3 players now, Yakindar. However, they don't know all of this just yet. He could get caught with a grenade in his hand. Oh boy, he could be in trouble. Well, there we go. That's position retained for OG. So Virtus Pro had a man behind enemy lines. That has quickly changed, however. Bus has been heard falling back, and things are getting weird for Virtus Pro very quickly indeed. The bomb carrier is going to get dropped, and nobody else is close.
Wow, Alexi B getting involved in this round and dropping the bomb. Now he's got an AK on an off angle. This is one that Jame is going to struggle to clear. Even if he does clear it, it's not an easy angle to deal with, but he is going to start to round the corner, and Alexi B doing a bit of damage to begin with, but Jame goes back for the headshot. Now VP have the bomb back in their hands. They may be in a 3v3. It may be uncomfortable for them, but at least they have the bomb and the ability to group up and try and hit a site together.
With Kika and Popdog, there are angles to be had on this A bomb site. However, Jame doesn't know how safe A is just yet. A main rather. He may wait for Sanji to join him, just so they can trade frag if required. So Kika crab walking below Mantu. Will he see the angle? He will. That'll certainly help. Issa's still in a strong position with 20 seconds left. He's covering a lot of bomb plant spots. He's seen the bomb now by Sandwich. If he stays alive, where can they even plant that bomb? Well, Valde's not in position just yet. He's rotating from B. But this has looked so nervous for Virtus.pro.
It has been a nervy round for them, but I think if they get away with 3 AKs, the outcome is okay. It's not even that bad for them. Valde has that Zeus in his back pocket, but he won't get the chance to use it. Sanji rips his head off, and now it is only Issa remaining. Kevlar and Helmet would be worth saving. There's obviously no chance to win the round, and the CZ at this range at Ivy is obviously not going to be effective, so he'll hold the close angle, hoping that someone comes to him, but VP will not give him that chance. So 3 AKs safe for VP. It's not the end of the world for them, even though for a second there it looks scary. They come ahead with a 3rd round win.
So there are some Finnish fans of Alexi B who really want me to say that it's Finnish Independence Day today, to the point where they've made a Twitter account called Inform Bardolf, and of course spelled my name wrong as well. So there you go. Can stop spamming me now. Congratulations to Finland. It's Independence Day today. Something to bear in mind if they win the championship. Alexi B has been he's been a really good IGL in this tournament. He's been a man who's been admired the way he's led this team, but he's got more leading to do just now. Looking for their first round here on trainers. Once again, Yakindar goes from mad dash towards Sandwich, and NBK will be the meat apparently.
Oh, a Kicker's got another kill. That was over towards B. Manti was trying to get a pick with the AWP, but he gets sprayed down. And now VP are going to quickly pop their way onto this B bomb site. Valde is here, but he's playing it very far back. It's a passive hold from him, and that means that OG are conceding the bomb site. This B site is normally retakeable, but in a 3v5, I'm not sure how likely that is.
Sanji has footsteps by Connector. Nothing unusual there. Post plant on the B bomb site, but oh, surely a shadow was seen there by Alexi B. Apparently not. Issa and Valde. Awkward for Valde now. Maybe he gets a cheap kill on his way out. He doesn't have a defuse kit. I don't expect some kind of ninja play here. We'll be simply looking to back away.
Is Issa really going to be 0-0 by the time we get to the 5th round? That sucks.
That's really strange, isn't it? But yeah, 4 rounds for Virtus.pro. Their pick. Pretty good start so far. But OG like to, some of the games they've played, they've warmed up over time, and then once they're hot, they do get a flurry of rounds back. We'll see if that'll be the case today on Train.
Great to see some of that early aggression from Yakindar be successful, and then, wow, Manti was committed to that angle with the AWP. He had a Molotov that bloomed behind him, so he was always going to be in trouble, even if he landed a shot. I'm sure someone else would have been there to get the kill. It would have been a 1-for-1, and then a quick play towards B. And look at this from OG. We're only 4 rounds in, and they've already taken a timeout, perhaps because that B site has been lost quite a few times now.
It's a clean set of Crimson Weave gloves from Issa. Very nice.
Do you like them with that blue knife?
Contrast is good.
Yeah, it can be.
Contrast is good, so you don't have to have like the same color of everything. It's nice to have some contrast. So familiarize yourself with a color wheel. Good for dressing yourself as well, and various colors elsewhere, but contrast can be nice. Red versus blue is a classic, of course, especially in gaming. Very strong pair of colors to put together. But this buy won't be very strong from OG. 2 rifles, a lot of high explosive grenades. We shall see where they go. Towards main, perhaps bouncing. So if players are trying to go fast, Olof, that would be a painful push for them.
This is a T-side smoke over at Brown Halls that VP like to deploy. James has just got the opening kill. But yeah, you can see from Valde's perspective, it's so hard for him to see anything at B. So he's always going to be a bit uncomfortable at the start of the round. VP really like to throw that smoke, and I don't see many other teams using it. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on.
It does give him an off angle, though, where he can see players creeping down lower B unless they hard check for him. So he had some high position on B with the rifle, but that might not be enough. Oh, Issa getting a little hungry. What a peek from Issa! How did he get 2 from that? Absolutely ridiculous. CT's never peeked beyond there, but of course in this situation, why wouldn't you? Virtus.pro, they are collapsing in this round. Those kills from Issa are unbelievable. James now, what does he do at this situation? 40 seconds on the remaining. Sanji's got some sound cues, but James got so many angles to look at. Up on the crate, you'd look towards red first, but on blue is where Issa gets dropped. James very aware, very capable. NBK playing the off angles. Does he peek every so often? 27 seconds. Sanji trying to find out where these CTs are. We can see Manti round the back, and NBK, his positioning is so strong. James at the point of no return. 17 seconds. Scoped next to the smoke, and Valde will emerge and put him out of his misery for the first round from OG.
Yeah, outstanding stuff from Issa, as you said, especially with the M4. It's rare to see kills this quick. Getting quick headshots onto both of those players. MBK then moves into Pop Dog, gets the timing just right on Kicker, who's trying to walk down the ladder. And from there on, it was OG who were leading the round. And look at what that does to the economy, James. All of a sudden, if OG win this round, VP's money is going to be called into question, and OG could turn around this half entirely. So that is a huge round for OG to win, and it really puts the balance back into this game.
CT lurk smoke is up by B. Again, the CTs can be behind this. You can get a one-way over the top of it. I think last time, I want to say it was OG who did that. They threw it up there, did nothing, and then Valde went up behind it the next round and caused lots of problems. But Yakinda on this A bomb site is making it so expensive for OG.
That's a one-man fake, and he's killed them all, James.
He really has. He may have shut this one down, but Valde's got to commit to this, surely. Got to try and do what he can. I think he may have been spotted by Sanji. Stereo peek from Versus Pro. And then Buster will leave it to only NBK. Well, that's one way to stop your money from being broken. Send in a Yakinda.
And if you're wondering why Maui on the desk loves Yakinda, that's one of the reasons why. Even if he's... Ooh, nice shots from MBK. You might be able to save this. VP's money isn't great either, but Jame will get him out of the round. So yeah, Yakinda there, even if he's not always top fragging for the team, just look at the minimap in this round and how many players he's drawing the attention of. He gets the first kill, then he's able to quickly get the second, just the snappy aim onto the A site. And obviously at this point, OG are panicking, thinking it's the A-sided play. There's no way in hell they're going to be ready for 4 players to pop onto B. When Yakinda can do stuff like that, it's almost unplayable at times when he is on his game, and he's certainly looking on his game after that round.
2 EWPs out for OG. Valde again looking to delay things. I explained that smoke before. Very risky to run past it. And again, I think it was versus MIBR the first time he used it. Didn't do anything. Second time, lurked behind it, got some kills. NBK very aggressive towards main at present, and there is a take. This will be heard by Versus Pro. Can wallbang that with an AWP, but James is towards Ivy at present. But even if they don't stay in there, OG, so not that thing in the corner is where the CTs normally stand, but of course everybody knows that, so you've got to change up the play. There we go. At least they'll have to use some utility to retake the area. I'd say NBK's demos on the CT side on the likes of Train and Nuke would be really good to watch, but Yakinda's demos might be great as well, looking for another 3K, but Alexi B will try to stop him and the rest of Versus Pro on this A bomb site.
Shot lands from Alexi B, but Ivy is open, so he has to get aggressive, and that means Jame can play the game that he wants to play, just sitting back and waiting for the opponents to come to him. The passive sniper always going to land that shot. Mantu striking back for OG, maybe giving them a chance, but a 2v3 retake on A is always difficult. There are just so many spots that VP can play this bomb from, so many different angles you have to clear out, and especially considering the value of that AWP and how hard it's going to be to use that AWP on the retake, Mantu's already decided to back away. This is another round for VP, and this is the first round really where we've seen a full commitment for them into the A site on one of these gun rounds, and it works out wonderfully for them. They put Alexi B under a lot of pressure because they get those early kills. Alexi B realizes he's exposed from so many angles, and VP are really composed in that round. They're really patient. They don't try and rush out to kill Alexi B. They know that he's the one under pressure. They know that he's the one that has to make a play, and they make him pay.
Coming into this tournament, there were questions on whether Yakinda could deliver his rating versus tougher opponents, higher ranked teams, European teams, and oh boy, is he looking dangerous right now when Virtus Pro need him to turn things around, put OG on their back. They will stand up once again, however, in round number 8 with the full buy. Man2 1 for 4. Had a sparkling performance on the previous map, but seems the water's gone flat at the moment. Still time to get his game going, though. And there's no time like the present. Well, had a timeout from Virtus Pro, and now it's time to get cracking in this one. 6-1 on their pick of Train, the T side. It's a great scoreline thus far. Couldn't ask for more than this. They won the pistol as well. And they are planting the bomb almost every single round, which gives you an indication as to how much success they're having.
Especially on Train. You know, on some maps, getting the bomb down isn't always the end goal, right? Like on some maps like Dust 2, for example, on the A site, you can get that bomb down pretty easily a lot of the time, but it's all about making sure you can play the post plant. On Train, if you get the bomb down, you've probably done something really, really good at the start of the round to get to that point, and Yakindar has been fantastic in these recent rounds. He's tried to go aggressive again, but this time he's got a bit too far. Isit is prepared for him. Counter flash comes in from Man2, and after getting that early kill, OG sit back and they try to relax, but VP are keeping the pressure on them.
Yeah, East has had some really key frags, even with the little success we have on the scoreboard for OG. OG being very aggressive again towards main, still grenade streaming in. NBK in a very tough position. See Buster looking for a player moving up the ladder. Now if he moves back, you can see NBK's got to be real careful about where he stands. He's got shadow problems, he's got foot problems as well. He's got himself some sound cues. Buster looking away from the flashbang. Did he see Jame as well? The flashbang's in main, and will the aggression continue? Apparently so. Man2 delivering, but the B-bomb site's been lost in the meantime.
This is someone that they were talking about on the desk. Maui was saying he loves how Kick-Up plays in some of these positions. That was a heads-up play to get to the B site. And now, if we take a look at the minimap, it's interesting how OG are rotating all through CT right now. That should give VP a chance to gain some ground on this B site. You can already see Kickut is doing just that. I really like this play from Kickut. He knows he needs to take a risk. He knows he needs to do something to win his team this round, and he might get the chance for some frags.
Alexi B is dead by CT spawn, but Kicker didn't see anybody else. I'm not sure how much he heard either, but Issa will also get dropped. Suddenly it's a 2 versus 2. Now it's OG who have the information. They know where Kicker was, and the bomb plant has got to be around default somewhere. They start to creep in silently, but suddenly it's only Man2 remaining. Just creeping up. Got to unscope because you know Kicker's around here somewhere. That is quite the turnaround from Virtus Pro. And you can see on the radar, you could see the way they were behaving on the server, how they were communicating with each other, the hesitation, not quite throwing the smoke just yet, allowing Kika to move forward and so on. And as you said, they're not playing for the bomb plant, they're playing for the round win. That was a great execution from the remaining 2 players of Virtus Pro.
Yeah, that's a 2v4 for VP, where they turn it into all 1v1s, and they catch a couple of players in the back. That is ridiculous. It's so rare that something like that will happen. And obviously, part of it comes down to OG not being prepared for it, but part of it comes down to Kicker realizing that's the only way to win the round. Brilliant stuff from OG. Or VP, I should say. They are playing so well right now, and they should be good to win this round as well. They're up against the pistols, but Yakindar's been blinded, and OG are causing some havoc on the A-bomb site. Sanji goes down. He was blinded, so the CZ gets him, and now VP have to win another 2v4, and it's not looking good for them. Jame is the only man left. Alexi gets him through the smoke. 3 with the CZ, and OG finally get another round.
There was a team flash in there as well. That was just a calamity of a round. Flashbang smoke. Kindar was in a very awkward situation. He made his play with flashbang support beyond Sandwich, but once he was beyond Sandwich, he saw a little of MBK in the smoke. But he was scared that he would get pinched from Sandwich as well. Then he got flashbangs, and then he was dead. Bizarre round, but a round for OG. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered. 2 AWPs on deck. Kindar going for Old Faithful. Up again, but AWP's on the way, and down he goes. Last time there was a molly there, which may have helped. Maybe not in this situation. Either way, it's a chance for OG to turn things around.
And now that OG have shut down that A-sided play early, they can keep 2 players on this B site and be much more ready. Valda has been blinded, and Man2 has been smoked off, so they're not competing that heavily for the site itself. Buster getting aggressive in towards these back trains. This is always where you want to be in the post plant on this B site, but OG still have a fair few nades that they're already starting to use to force VP back.
I love this battle in the middle of the train yard. Both teams forcing the other one back, but they're both pushing forward. Advantage OG for now. Better weapons and more men. I'll spot one jumping to the lower area through the smoke. Here's some reloads as well. A lot of information for OG. Maybe awkward, though, to retake with 2 AWPs. Valde creeping up oil is going to be really key. Down goes Buster, but will there be a trade from default? Kika alone now. That bomb's pretty ticked at the moment. There's only a kit on Mantu, and he may just about get there in time. Oh, it's going to be a close one. I'm not sure if he's got it. He may lose everything. Oh, I don't think he's got it. No!
Oh, man. That could have been such an important round for OG as well. That round decides the economy. If they win it, they're probably cruising in terms of the economy. They're the ones that can build up some rounds and maybe finally start to get themselves in this game. Instead, now we get this really weird situation where everyone dies at the end of the last round. So people are buying what they can, but the buys are limited on both teams. VP have 3 MAC-10s, an AWP and an AK, while OG currently have an AWP for Mantu, an M4 for Issa, and Valda has money as well. So I think OG are actually probably going to get the better buyout of this, weirdly enough, but I already know that VP can have a lot of plans for these MAC-10s. They surely have some aggressive rounds up their sleeve.
I am very excited to see how Virtus Pro implement these 3 MAC-10s in this round with the choke points of Train, no less.
Yekindal's got a pretty good spawn with that MAC-10 as well. He could definitely be going in first.
This is the weirdest timeline. 2 AWPs out now for OG.
Jeez.
They most certainly have a better buy, I would say, with the rifle as well. Yeah, absolutely. So this is a very bizarre round after what we just saw, but I love a weird round. I'm excited to see it. No smoke up the ramp this time. That's going to mean Yekindal goes straight in with the MAC-10, trying to delete the lack of helmeting players. And have a look at that. They've lost position immediately, OG. Do they go through the smoke and risk losing everything? They still have 2 AWPs and the M4A4 in tow, and I think they've got to let go of this one. With all these MAC-10s as well, surely Virtus Pro, once they realize what's happening, they will hunt, and I think they already have. They know what choice OG have, and it's not much. And again, the lack of helmets makes these MAC-10s devastating.
This B bomb site is being abused right now by Virtus Pro. And it was pointed out in the pregame that Valda is the man who holds that B site. It's the MVP candidate, the leading player in the MVP race right now, who they are beating back on that B site round after round. I'm looking at the player stats right now for maps, and statistically...
Oh, God.
That is just Sanji doing things with the MAC-10. As you'd expect from Sanji, he loves those SMGs. But yeah, I was looking at the stats. This is Valda's worst map statistically. It's still not bad for him. He's got a 1.00 rating in the last 6 months on this map, but it is his weakest map, probably because OG don't play it that often. And we're seeing right now VP coming in with a pretty clear game plan. Most of these rounds are ending towards B, and most of them are ending in wins.
I wonder how different the start of that round is if that usual smoke from Valde is up the ramp there. Very unfortunate time to not have it, because it did slow the pace of Virtus Pro pretty much every other round. Speaking of pace, have a look at this. Not wanting OG to really have time to respond and get into better positions. Yekindal will still get his bell rung, but he's alive. Smoke towards Ivy is very important for the bomb plant, as control of Ivy is key. And indeed, the bomb has been planted. There is a lot of utility here for OG, but they're carrying a lot on Issa specifically. Now, how much does he want to risk losing in this round, considering they're probably back on the buy very soon? Yep, they'll hold on to what they have, it seems. Virtus Pro storming round after round here on Train. They want to take this one to Inferno. It's quite a pretty trophy as well.
Absolutely.
A very unique one.
We've seen Yekindal on the player cams with his trophies behind him as well. He'd love to add another one to his collection, that's for sure.
What's behind your cam?
There's my little cuddly toy thing.
That's I mean, you know, like at home, not...
Oh, at home?
Not here.
Normally, right now, I'm playing in my parents' conservatory, James. That's my setup.
Conservatory?
Yep.
Bloody hell, chap.
I know.
That's the wisest thing you've said in a long time. Bloody conservatory. I just got shoes behind me. Conservatory, darling. I've got the butterflies are everywhere.
I feel like we're both living up to what people would expect from us, which is good.
I respect it.
Yeah.
All right, then. Just 2 rounds for OG. Look at all those bomb plants.
Sanji's got a MAC-10, James. He doesn't need to, but he has anyway.
Well, everything is fine then. Everything is normal. Virtus Pro starting to pay less respect to these smokes. Maybe at the beginning they wondered if Valde would creep behind them, perhaps watching the demos of the previous train, but we haven't seen it once that I've noticed, at least, here on the B bomb site. And maybe Valde, seeing that disrespect, will consider his options next time around. But for now, Virtus Pro have established control upper B, but still there's no rotation from OG. Valde is very alone here.
Yeah, Valde plays this position sometimes alone, and it does scare me. He's got the rotate now, so he should be okay. But when you're this committed to this position, it's really hard to stay alive there and actually hold on to that B site. So I like that he gets the rotate from Mantu. I think I would like to see OG maybe just go for like a 2 or 3 man B aggression at the start of one of these rounds, just to try and take that away from Virtus Pro, because it's clearly the game plan that VP are rocking right now. And with 45 seconds left, it looks like another round will be ending on B, but look at that nade damage.
Over the top from Valde. That's a juicy one. Pop flash being lined up for Kika. Will be chain flashes, I'm sure. MBK does the same one. Avoids the first one. There's a chain flash, maybe a team flash. Not really sure either way.
Oh no.
Valde's still alive.
They've run past him.
Buff has been punctured, and indeed Kika has gone past, but Mantu from Oil will make it doable. How on earth has Sanji got here? He was Ivy like 10 seconds ago. He must be teleporting. Bombs planted. OG with a man advantage, but for how long?
Oh. James commits to the site now. They've got to go aggressive. They can't both play there, so Yakindar's forced forwards. The flank from Issa could be the difference maker here. MBK now looking for fights. James playing on the middle of the bomb site, and in comes Issa from the ramp. MBK and Issa trying to work together, but James got the first kill. Issa has to arrive. That bomb is planted safe. There's a chance that could help Issa get on that bomb quickly, but he needs a kill first, and he's not finding it. He's not getting given any opportunities. Finally, he gets spotted, but the time is too far gone, and James takes the fight anyway. No fear in VP right now. They've got an 11-2 lead, and this is on the T side of train, James, the harder side of the map.
Have you seen the video of orcas flinging a seal like 100 feet into the air before they ate it, just for fun?
What?
Yeah, it's a thing that orcas do sometimes.
That's
and
pretty baller.
that's what that 1v2 felt like from Virtus Pro. Just absolutely helpless on the B bomb site. 11-2 for VP. Storming, playing a masterclass on the T side of train. Masterclass. And that's before you get to Yakindar's individual entries on that A bomb site earlier on. And this is what I expected, Valde to be behind the smoke next time. I thought this would happen. As soon as he saw the disrespect, they went straight over it. But there was a gap in the smoke so he could see it. But Yakindar's here, which means there's no more Valde.
Oh, they're so low on the VP side, though. 3 of them below half health. Sanji's the one man still almost untouched, unscathed. He may be the man that has to help close out the round for them. Currently lurking towards Ivy, but with the man advantage, VP are pretty content to slow things down. They've still got over a minute left on the clock as well. Now, OG do have some smokes remaining. If they could hold those for the late round, it could be really nice to be able to stop VP from being able to go for a faster play. Might force VP to push through those smokes, which would obviously be ideal. But Yakindar is still alive, and he's still looking for entries. This is an annoying angle from Issa, though. Kind of like up on this E-box thing, little ledge.
Now, what do they identify from the bounce of those grenades? They must know it was thrown away from far, and Buster went straight past it before it popped as well. He's doing the safety check. He's got a hazmat suit, the clipboard. He's got the safety goggles. And he's just popped him in the head, and immediately Virtus Pro realised at least where Issa is, but how much more can he do from this position? Got to be careful about main as well. Runs past Alexi B, will hold that angle for him. 12 seconds for the bomb to get planted, and here's NBK. There's a chance for Sanji. Can he commit to this bomb plant? Just about, but down he goes. James now 11-1 versus 2, but not for long. Alexi B's here for a 3rd round for OG.
Poor Sanji ends up being the man to plant the bomb, even though he's the only one with the high health. He would have been hoping he had a chance to close out that round for them, but it is OG who finally get another round on the board. It's been a long time coming. They've only been able to win 1 round occasionally throughout this half. They've never built up consistency. That's a really nice read from Issa as well. He realized that they're out through Ivy. He has to look at the back lines, and he makes sure that he's not exposed from A main. Manti was watching that angle eventually so he could get back to the site. Much more like it from OG. I am worried that it's probably come too late, though. They've only got 3 CT rounds, and into the last round of the half, they can only get a maximum of 4.
Buster's turn to make his way in. Hasn't got as far as Ikinda, but he's still alive, and that's something to celebrate for VP right now. So, again, I could talk about this smoke grenade for about 2 minutes in how, from OG's last game to this game, the data's been read and so on, but here's the push, the surge from Virtus Pro once more. Valde changing up his position. Can he get 2 frags out of this? That would be a miracle. He's got another 1v1, and there he is. Valde's still alive, still resetting the situation, buying time for his team, disappearing into nowhere. Another 1v1 destroyed. Buster, 3 HP. This is the last round of the first half, so he's got to go for it. Such a tough role for Valde on that B bomb site, but this time he delivers.
Yeah, Buster had to roll the dice, but the game was rigged against him. OG pick up a 4th to close out the half. It is going to be a long, long road back for them, though. But maybe they have a chance. We'll have to wait and see how they do heading into the second half. That's coming up next. Well, Train is looking like a rather one-sided map right now. Inferno would be our 3rd map if required, and it's looking more and more likely that that will be the case because VP are in cruise control right now. They've got an 11-4 lead heading into their CT side of Train.
Let's see what OG have to offer them. P250 on Issa. Down ladder goes Man2. Very quickly he will swing. The smoke will deny vision to Sanji, but he'll find his own vision over the smoke rather than through. Man2 looking for something. One must be careful though. Sanji wonders. Maybe got a sound cue, but James elevated himself. Oh, that's a great tap from Kika. Oh, another one from Kika. This bomb may not get planted. Very patient shots, and Issa trying to get around the corner with that P250, the Florida Man pistol, but he will be denied.
Well, James may be top fragging for VP right now, but Kicker is certainly getting a lot of impact rounds as well. Those shots are sublime on the B-bomb site. Plucking the first man out of the air, not wasting any time on the second kill either. Not even allowing the bomb plant for OG. And look, if OG get that bomb down, they can try and force here. They can try and break that VP economy, and then that's what they would need to give themselves an opportunity. But without the bomb plant, thanks to those shots from Kicker, they have to fully save in this round, and they're going to try and rush B to see if they can get a plant now.
Alexi B will bide his time. See the sound cues will run distraction up top as he makes his way down. So the timing was good, but he is ill-equipped for the task. He's brought a hammer to a drill job. Mantu, Issa and Valde, they've managed to plant the bomb, so that's pretty good. Just their positioning was able to force the CTs back somewhat. So they've got some bonus money. Again, the question is damage, but Mantu with the Glock, I don't know how much he'll be able to do here. It won't be much at all, which is fine. Plan A had to be plant the bomb there. Plan B, do some damage. Plan C, win the round. But Plan A, was the main part, and they did that.
I feel like more teams need to stack 2 players on B when their opponents are on eco, because that's a very common play.
Yeah.
You don't want to allow that to happen, because now OG get a great buy. They can even get an AWP if they wanted. It would have to be glass cannon. James got an AWP on the CT side, though, and Mantu will get one for OG as well.
15 for 7, both James and Kika. Top of the scoreboard. Mantu didn't have a great half. Neither did his whole team, though. But didn't have the impact he was looking for. It will be difficult on the T side, but we shall see. Selected B's turn to go for a race, and Mantu's holding the angle for him as he tries to do the hurdles down towards Ivy. They'll go 1 for 1. Things may slow down for a while now if this utility can be posted up. NBK, though, still creeping, and Mantu delivers another one. Never mind the CT side. Seems he was waiting for the second half.
How does Buster get out of here? He's up close towards Pop Dog. Aggression from Kicker over at B could be nice, though. Virtus Pro have cleared out that B side of the map, so Sanji should be prepared, but he can't get the kill. Only the dink onto Issa, and now Buster is the only man on the A bomb site itself. Can Kicker get the flank? It's unlikely. Valda's watching this the whole time. Kicker almost jumps his way around the corner. Valda surviving on 26 health. And now, what can Buster do? It's been a very quiet game from Buster. 5 kills to his name so far. Quite a few low health opponents, but they're already going over to the B site. And I don't think Buster's going to be able to get there in time.
Respect to Kika for that movement. Made it as difficult as possible. OG heavily tagged, but I believe this round has come to its conclusion. Buster looking to keep his hands on his AK-47. If you look at the money, oh, he's got himself an upgrade. Jamie's the only person who can't really buy much of anything in the next round. So if one gun survives, then VP may be in an interesting position. OG have a long way to go in this game of Train. If you're joining us late, they won their own pick of Mirage OG, 16-10, looking strong from start to finish. And so far on Train, it's been all Virtus Pro, as you can see from the score. But OG are about to post up one more. Again, the deficit is large. But is it achievable?
That saved AWP allows a full buy for VP. Here's the shot from Mantu. This is the wall bang. Oh, over the top of the Train. And then Sanji, he got the dink so early. It looked like he had his opponent dead to rights, but Issa replies with the spray down. Buster right now, 5-11, even though his team are winning 13-5. That's a feeling I know very well, James.
Yes. I love those HEs. If there's a fast play from a CT, they can be devastating. With a hard read on a CT team, who are especially on eco, some teams will throw triple HEs in that direction. We were actually discussing this in the break. And it seems it's Virtus Pro's turn to show aggression towards main, isolating fights with the molly at the back, which is where you throw the sandwich molly from on a T perspective. OG will show presence around Ivy, but I don't think VP realize there are 3 Ts here. Some sound cues. He knows NBK is close now. Will there be any rotation from Virtus Pro? They know they've got problems towards Ivy. I don't know if anyone's got a... No one's got a flash on the A-bomb site to help Buster at all.
Yeah, he'd love a flash right here because he knows there's at least one dead. That could be 3 kills, but instead he has to play it safe. Oh, spray blind for Yakindar, but he gets the kill either way, and Buster's going to tuck in, but MBK lands a brilliant shot to begin this push into the A-bomb site. Yakindar still in A main, though, cutting off this side of the push, but Issa gets the kill onto the site itself, and is Yakindar going to get caught in the back here? It's looking like it. Oh, it's actually Issa who gets him from the site itself. Yakindar taken out of the action, and Kicker, again, as that B-site rotator, has very little to do here. Very few opportunities in a 1v3. The bomb just now being planted, but I don't see a world in which Kicker wins this round.
Yakindar had no idea that Valde was in the smoke alone with the bomb in main. If he just paid attention to that would have changed everything, but there was so much action on the bomb site. He ran out and conceded his position to Valde, of course, who raises the alarm, and OG find themselves in this position now. Could have potentially been very different for Virtus Pro, but alas, it is what it is. The money sucks now. Great opportunity for OG to build some rounds. Only moving to 6, so again, there's still a lot of comeback to make, and that means that VP will be heading to maximum loss bonus should OG be successful in the coming round, so it will only get more difficult in theory. What to do? What to do? They really need to save their money for the next rounds, so I don't expect much investment in terms of grenades even. At least one flashbang would be nice. We can see Sanji's picked one up. James opted for the Zeus. We'll see what gimmick he's got, because the Zeus doesn't really give you much of a reward for the kill either. It's really about taking the weapon and position. He'll be alone on the B bomb site to try and find something with that.
Oof. MBK's been getting a couple of entry kills now as this T-half goes on. Valda not aware of the position, but Issa is, and the trades are successful onto the A site. So a chance to breathe for OG. This round will be an easy one. In this next round, I am curious as to what the money looks like for VP, because I don't think they've got a massive losing bonus. And there is a chance that they might want to save again to get a proper full buy together, especially considering they might not get the AWP for Jame. So that's worth looking at once this round ends. Keep an eye on the VP economy, see what they're going to do. For OG, though, it's a 7th round, all but confirmed at this point. And Jame, oh, he's baiting them in. The Zeus kill is there. He gets away with it. But now the real games begin.
Well, not as Virtus Pro might have liked. $4,000 to $4,500 for the most part. The money's awkward.
You've probably got to buy here, though. I think it's just about good enough.
Absolutely.
Oh, they're going to get the AWP out as well.
They'll still squeeze the AWP out. They always find a way.
Wow, so Buster has to go without Kevlar.
Exactly, yeah.
Damn.
Org and no Kevlar. Well, maybe the scope will help. I'm sure he will position himself accordingly. They see the importance of that AWP. So risk will be taken. There's Kika with a pop flash. Can't get the second one, though. And look at the rotation from Virtus Pro, just in case half the team will make their way in towards B and post up. Sanji very well timed, just as Valde's getting off the ladder. Of course, he got ladder inaccuracy, landing inaccuracy to deal with as well. Multiple problems for Valde there, and more problems for OG on A because James has that AWP.
Something Thorin pointed out in the pre-game is that VP have been very good on train at stacking the right sites. They've rotated over to A in this one. They had the early players towards B. The bomb isn't even in the hands of OG right now, but MBK is having a little look onto the A site, and this time he's dealt with Jame arriving on the site at just the right time. That is now 18 kills for Jame. His AWP has been excellent here on train, and VP are just 2 rounds away from taking us to a 3rd map. But at least OG still have money. Yeah,
there's more Counter-Strike to be had, both now and if Virtus Pro keep winning rounds. Jame 18 for 10. Just poking ahead of Kika now on 16. Mantu with flashbang support, trying to stop the push towards ladder. Missing the flick though due to the multiple flashbangs, and Kika will make his way where he wants to be. It's always a nice play to make if you can take that fast angle and you can tell your team, okay, no one's in ladder, you can go down there. You can save your Molotov as well. OG now upper B. You can see Kika heading towards that B bomb site. He's got a flash and an incendiary. Yakindar with a well-timed smoke grenade.
These reads are nuts, man. Oh, I thought they were going to rotate a 3rd. They are going to rotate a 3rd. It's so insane how VP seem to do this. This is what Thorin was talking about. They stack the right site with seemingly very little info.
This gravity's bringing them down on the radar. Kika now. There we go. Multiple targets for OG, but they will be able to trade out. Issa with 2, of course. Buster crab walking, creeping. Oh my god, he's wiping them out here towards default. Down to a 2v2 as Alexi goes for the elevated bomb plant. Trying to fake them out here. Catches Sanji on his way, which leaves Jaime alone. 1v2. He's closed the distance. They may not expect this. Not sure if he's heard the rotation upstairs already, but surely Alexi B won't be ready for this. He's flashed himself as well. The no-scope from Jaime. Does he realize where Valde is? He knows where he could be. Looking around for tools. I think he would have heard that Molotov there. Does he go for the peak Valde? Ah, he goes for the wide swing. Not the tight one. Down to the wire, but OG are still alive. They keep Virtus Pro off of game points.
That's a confidence booster for OG as well, because they know they just outplayed VP hard. Considering they run into a massive stack on that B site, they win that round, even though VP know what OG are going to do. So even if OG get the wrong call sometimes, they know they can just frag out. Buster did a really good job on the B site as that third man, the unexpected player, to get those 2 kills in the first place. Got it into a 2v2, got it into a winnable position, but the initial push from OG was just too strong. They got the 2 kills to begin with onto those initial B-sided players, and that means that VP go down to a low buy. Only a couple of upgraded pistols, 1 HE grenade in the hand of Kicker. Alexi B's already getting into the midst of these trains. This is an AK that could be lost if he goes down, but he's not going to be losing that fight, that's for sure.
Sweep of Jaime in Ivy. AWP can post up, deploying the bomb to someone else. Good containment from OG. 9th round is all but guaranteed. We spoke about that magical 10th in the first game. It was a similar scoreline, but in different hands. VP with some time to think about the round to come. And again, the only thing going their way, if they keep losing rounds, is the loss bonus. So the buys will get stronger if they need to. OG don't have all the money in the world just now. Again, they've been taking heavy casualties in some of these rounds, so they can't hunt too much. And indeed, versus USP and a Deagle, how much do you need to? Issa has $0 in the bank, so you definitely want to try and pad your own stats here. Well, pad your bank. The NBK still on the way. That's one way to try and farm with the MAC-10. Won't work on this occasion, though.
Instantly into the hands of Sanji. Not surprised. He didn't have much money. He'll take that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you can't even drop a MAC-10 to Virtus Pro. There's a use for it.
I feel like he was licking his lips as soon as he saw that MAC-10 getting saved. He was like, yes, please. I will take that. Timeout for VP. It's still a long way for the comeback, James, but if OG were to come back here on Train, I feel like it would be so fitting for the way they've played this tournament, because they've always done it the hard way. They lost their opening game of the group against Gen G. They had to come back in a very hard group to come out on top. Then they go into the playoffs. They lose their first game against MIBR. They have to bounce back in the lower bracket of the playoffs, beating Dig, Big, MIBR in the rematch, and then Fnatic earlier today. It has been about as long of a tournament as it could be for OG, and they've got to make sure that they can keep this comeback going here on Train. But it is still quite far off at this point. They've got to win a couple more rounds before we can really start to believe.
$1 million tournament. It would be a great feather for either of these two teams. I think the story is great either way, even making it to the final. But there's a little more for one of these squads. Oh, and there's a bullet for Issa's chest on Ivy. Down he goes. Too much airtime. Painful seeking of information. OG will bunch together towards B. Already we have Kika and Jaime in position. They'll quickly jump down. Jaime pulls some grenades out. Now, Kika needs to stay alive here. It's made very awkward for OG though. This is surely going to collapse for them. A very painful peak for them, but maybe it felt like they were at a point of no return. Again, we spoke about the money and the importance of saving in that last round for OG. Alexi B and Mantu remain waiting for the smoke to go, but it's a double peek, and it leaves Mantu upstairs. He's got 4.5k, but surely a drop would be more helpful at this point. You can see Buster already looking for a save. He's gone through Ivy, holding an angle towards T-spawn. I suppose Mantu will be hiding in plain sight for a while, because all he can do now is lose money.
Really well-timed counter smoke from VP in this round. It's crazy how sometimes it feels like literally just one smoke is going to win you the round in Counter-Strike. Having that smoke down towards that blue train, stopping OG from being able to properly push the site, it just completely thwarts OG's attack. And wow, Mantu actually goes for it at the end there, James. I guess he was scared that maybe he might die after time. At least this way he can 100% buy an AWP in this round. But he can't drop for a teammate now. There will have to be some liberties taken in this buy for OG ahead of a round where if they lose it, they would lose the map completely.
What a tough decision that is as well. Imagine that on the comms. Well, maybe you should die. Because then, oh man, that's just tells the story of this map for OG. Last chance saloon for the squad on the T side. Currently one map up, but not for long, it looks like. Mantu straight down the ladder position, but he misses the flick. Sanji, of course, with the AK-47, one of two on this CT side, along with the double AWPs. Yekindar caught creeping, corner of the smoke. Lining up some flashbangs for the pop dog position.
Their last nade. Let's make the most of it, boys. Apparently not. Alexi B actually does get a kill there. Jame with the AWP still in the back lines on the A-bomb site, though, and both OG players dropping down pop. They actually get to recover some nades because of the kills there, so that's nice for them. They get a smoke down to try and create some space, and Alexi B is trying to boost up over the top. This is something OG have done previously in this tournament, but are VP aware of it? OG still waiting patiently. Oh, VP have pushed Ivy though. VP think they've got the information towards A. They've rotated away, and now Alexi might have the favorable fight. He's watching Connector, but Jame is there, ready to stop him, and it's all on Valda.
Ivy push came at the same time as a B push as well, so some visualization from Jame as he finds the second last target. Valde in a clutch. Love to see that. But maybe bittersweet as it's a tough situation for him. The triangle of doom is here. Every angle, nothing safe. No bomb plant for OG in this final round. 16-9 for Virtus.pro. And it will go all the way here in our final of Flashpoint 2. Inferno to decide who will be our champion.